Happening now, we take a deep dive into a cold case of a Silver Creek woman who disappeared just 10 minutes away from home. And what New York Governor Kathy Hochul is doing for Domestic Violence Awareness Month regionally. Plus, a spooky exhibit pairing Halloween and history in Jamestown.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a Jamestown man was arrested following a domestic incident that led to one going to the hospital. Officers responded to Jamestown's east side following reports of a domestic incident in the area. Upon arrival, officers discovered 28-year-old Cloud Wine Jr. had assaulted another with a lead pipe, causing visible injury. Cloud's actions had also violated an order of protection between him and the victim. He was taken to Jamestown City Jail without incident, where he is now awaiting arraignment. The victim was taken to UPMC Chautauqua to be treated. A Jamestown man was arrested after allegedly harassing a vehicle and cell phone Sunday afternoon. Officers with the Lakewood Bustye Police Department responded to reports of a domestic dispute at the Lakewood Walmart at around 8 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Further investigation revealed that 21-year-old Keanu Perez of Jamestown had a confrontation with another inside the store. Perez had followed the victim outside the shopping district, where he had allegedly kicked a vehicle and damaged a cell phone while the victim was inside the vehicle. Perez was then arrested by officers and is charged with menacing in the 3rd degree, criminal mischief in the 4th degree, and obstruction of governmental administration in the 2nd degree. He is currently in Chautauqua County Jail awaiting arraignment. A decades-old cold case, now once pushed aside, is now being brought to the spotlight again in hopes of finding some answers for a Silver Creek woman who mysteriously went missing just a few short minutes from home. Our Alyssa Wright joining us live in the studio with more on the newly reopened case. Alyssa?
Bronson, the disappearance of Judith Threkold has stumped investigators since the 70s and has been deemed a cold case with no new leads. Now, with the help of social media, this case has been revitalized.
March 8th, 1976, Judith was walking home from the library. She was an avid reader. She was walking home from the library around 9 p.m. in Silver Creek.
The last person reported to have seen Judith was her own family member.
Her brother passed her on the way to their house, asked her if she needed a ride home. She told him, no, I'm real close, I'm just going to walk. And that was the last she was ever seen.
At the time, however, there was no report made that Judith had gone missing.
We're still looking for people who have seen all the parties that we're talking about. That's really important. You know, Judith was last seen remarkably by her own brother. Is he the only person? Given the instance where it wasn't reported and it wasn't a massive search for, I'm sure a lot of people never even knew Judith was missing.
A letter from a citizen that mentioned Judith sparked the investigators' interest in the case.
We went and tried to validate the case on Judith. And at that time, in 1976, Silver Creek had its own police department, had its own records. They no longer exist.
Over 45,000 people have been engaged in the posts about Judith.
Judith is new, and we're gathering people for the first time who haven't heard about it. So the result of each exposure is different.
In the end, the investigator urges the public to keep an eye on the Unsolved Chautauqua Facebook page and don't hesitate to reach out to the Unsolved Crimes Unit with any information. Live in studio, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. Health officials are becoming increasingly concerned about this year's flu strain. They say that they already see signs that the virus is spreading and gathering speed across the U.S., even earlier than usual. One California high school said that they saw about 1,000 absences this week out of 2,600 students. Health officials say that as a result of social distancing and masking during the COVID pandemic, flu nearly disappeared in the U.S. That means most people haven't been exposed to the virus in 2 years, leading to lower immunity. They are encouraging people to get their flu shots as soon as possible. Flu activity in the U.S. usually starts to increase in October and peaks between December and February. Now here in the studio, we have seen people like our weatherman Dakota. He was out just 2 weeks ago feeling not that well. And today, Justin, he isn't feeling that well either. So even here locally, we are seeing it. But speaking of, I guess that means we got to switch to weather. Isn't that right, Dakota?
Yeah, that's right. We've got some interesting weather coming on the deck here. Hello there, folks, as I step into shot there. It's an overall cloudy Monday out there, and at least some of the rain is kind of staying away. The Olean sky cam right now showing you mostly cloudy skies, and that's pretty much the story across much of the southern tier. This is all lake effect rain being generated off Lake Erie. It's mainly moving to the northeast, so this is mainly going to stay away from the southern tier, but we are going to see some rain showers developing later on this afternoon that will get into the southern tier. 59 was the high yesterday, started the day at 45, 82 and 20 are the records. So through the afternoon, partly sunny, clouds increase through the afternoon. Scattered lake effect rain showers will be likely across the southern tier and windy. 44 to 51 is the high temp today, so that's well below average. Look at that wind, southwest 10 to 30 with some wind gusts around 40 miles an hour. Now the first snowflakes of the season will likely come tonight through tomorrow and Wednesday. Alyssa's giving me a big thumbs down, but we'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Bronson.
All right, we'll see you then, Dakota. I don't know if that's good news, though. But as we continue, we break down yesterday's Buffalo Bills game as the team heads into a bye week. And later, the latest efforts in New York State to crack down on domestic violence. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Josh Allen threw for 329 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the go-ahead toss to Dawson Knox. With 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining, and the Buffalo Bills beat the Kansas City Chiefs 24-20 on Sunday to exact a small measure of revenge for their epic overtime loss in last year's playoffs. Erie News Now's John Leidig recaps the game.
In a busy day of NFL football, the mainstay set in the Midwest as the Chiefs and Bills took center stage, both 4-1 coming into the contest. Let's head to Arrowhead Stadium. It's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills with the top spot of the AFC on the line. After the Bills open the scoring on a field goal, Patrick Mahomes dancing to buy time. He finds Juju Smith-Schuster, 42-yard touchdown, and the Chiefs out to a 7-3 lead to start the second. Bills ball with $1:29 to go until halftime, more than plenty of time for Josh Allen to find the star of last year's postseason game, Gabe Davis, the 34-yard score. Chiefs field goal before the half tied it at 10. Third quarter, and now Stephon Diggs joining the act. The score here, 13 straight completions for Allen to end the third. Still in the third frame, though. Mahomes buys time. Mecole Hardman going to get this one in for the score. We're even once again, this time after 3. KC up 3 with 2 minutes to go. Allen, watch him elevate over the defender inside the Chiefs 20. And that would set up Allen connecting with a third member of his deep receiving core, Dawson Knox, the tight end, giving Buffalo the lead with $1:04 to play. And then Mahomes in Kansas City with a chance to win it, but Mahomes with his second interception of the day. Teron Johnson, the closers. The Bills take the top spot in the AFC, 24-20, the final.
The lights were dimmed on Broadway Saturday to pay tribute to one of the theater's brightest stars. Although Angela Lansbury may be best known for her TV series Murder, She Wrote, she was a legend of the great White Way Lansbury. She made her Broadway debut in 1957 and won 5 Tony Awards, most recently for a movie in 2009. She won the 2022 Special Award for Lifetime Achievement. The theater district dimmed its lights at exactly 7:45 p.m. for 1 full minute to honor her incredible stage career. Breast cancer survivors in New York will soon be receiving help during their recovery. Governor Hochul signed a bill that will ensure that survivors have proper health insurance coverage for chest reconstruction surgery after a mastectomy. Under the new law, both breast reconstruction and chest wall reconstruction will be covered by insurance, according to the governor's office. Roughly 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer over the course of their lifetimes. October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Governor Kathy Hochul is taking steps to reduce this issue in New York and meet the needs of survivors and their fall families. Our New York State Capitol correspondent spoke to the Office for the Prevention of Domestic Violence about the importance of awareness and the different challenges facing this issue.
On October 1st, Governor Kathy Hochul signed a proclamation commemorating October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Hochul also launched a multimedia campaign aimed at helping New Yorkers called Start the Conversation. In 2021, there were over 195,000 domestic violence orders and protections, which is an 18% increase from 2020, according to the Office of Court Administration.
One of the biggest challenges that face victims of domestic violence and the programming around that is really people understanding what it takes to leave.
Owens added that there are a lot of misconceptions about what it looks like to leave a domestic violence situation. She said in some cases, victims can be subject to technology abuse where their abuser uses technology as a tool for power and control. Owens said abusive relationships progress and they often do not start out badly. A person in a domestic violence situation, she said, might not even fully understand the type of situation they are in. She said the best thing a person can do to be an ally in a domestic violence situation is to be there as a resource ready to listen.
What they just need to know is that you're there for them no matter what, and that you'll help them take whatever path they want. I think that's the most important thing to remember. And often don't put your own judgment into the situation because you're not living it.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Coming up next, we join with Dakota to talk about this incoming snow. And although we have seen this fall foliage, it really doesn't look that nice coming up. But he'll talk more on that in just a few minutes.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
Police and other local law enforcement agencies are looking for the person responsible for a shooting.
One of the benefits of this new feature is it not only works with the newer parking meters at the city.
From muddy trails to slick cliff edges to structures that have fallen into disrepair, these are just some of the problems that this park faces.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Foliage, Bronson. Say it with me. Foliage. There you go. Anyway, want to start off with some nice weather eye pictures. How about this? Alex has a drone and he took it out over the weekend and captured this amazing shot over downtown Jamestown over the weekend. And how about Amy? I mean, Justin's mom is one of the best photographers we have, around here in this area. And she went to the Riverwalk yesterday and you can see the fall foliage is now really at peak here in downtown Jamestown. And of course, if you have any pictures or videos, the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter, the First Defense weather page on Facebook, and use that hashtag #MyLocalWX. And speaking of the foliage, this is still from last week. This is going to get updated tomorrow, but still we are running or just at peak colors. So now is the time to get out and take a look at that color across the region, because it's only going to get muted from here on out as we go throughout the rest of the fall season. So trash can window meter for today. Yeah, if your trash pickup is tomorrow morning, or you have your trash can out, you might find it next door. Where the winds are going to be today. It's really a breezy day out there. That should say Monday, Thursday, but anyway, you know what day it is. Live look outside from the HD News Now cam. Mostly cloudy, 45 as of noon hour. A southwest wind to 17. Look at the wind gust at 28. So it's breezy out there this afternoon, so hang on to your hats. The wind chill is down to 38 when you combine the wind and the air temperature together. But take a look at the temperatures over the next 5 days. We are going down into the lower 40s for tomorrow and Wednesday. The hills may stay in the upper 30s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but we do see another warming trend arriving by the end of the week and into the weekend. Seeing low pressure across the upper Great Lakes right there. Notice the spin right around the area of low. That's bringing that effect rain showers you can see developing right across the Great Lakes. But also this front moving through is bringing in cooler air, and you know what going to do. Let's show it to you on Future Scan. Notice a few lake effect rain showers will be coming our way through the afternoon. Then as we get into tonight, this is right around midnight. Notice the blue showing up here. That is snow. Yes, folks, some wet snowflakes will be possible through the overnight hours, and the best chance for any grassy accumulation is likely going to be on the highest hilltops. So the lower elevations will likely see nothing, but the hilltops may get a quick inch by tomorrow morning. We'll keep the lake effect rain and snow showers going into some capacity through Tuesday, and then by Wednesday we'll keep it going. So how much snow are we picking up? Do you remember last week we've been talking about this, how numbers were really all over the board? I'm thinking this is more reasonable based on what we're looking at. Yeah, we could be looking at about a ½ an inch grassy accumulation. Some spots could get close to 1 inch. So again, it's not that big of a deal. but it will be the first snowflakes of the season. Just understand, most of you will see nothing. It's really going to be the highest hilltops that really could see that wet snow accumulation. So the next 7 days of your life, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, are right here. So again, that quick inch by the morning, tomorrow morning. 41, we may get another ½ inch to an inch by Wednesday. Then we just see a few rain showers in the morning on Thursday. We dry out Friday, and look at the temperatures, Bronson, going back above average. We could get close to 70 by next weekend, Bronson. How about this for weather whiplash?
So I take it the snow isn't going to last then?
No, it will not.
Good thing. We don't like we don't like that word here, Dakota.
Well, you know, it's October. We're getting very close to the average first seasonal snowfall, so, you know, it is what it is, folks.
All right, here's some headlines for you from across the nation. You better listen up, because Walmart is helping people with hearing problems. The retail giant announced that it is selling over-the-counter hearing aids for the first time in the company's history. These devices can be purchased without a medical exam by a doctor or a prescription. This comes in the aftermath of the Food and Drug Administration's new rules regarding hearing aids. The FDA says their policy change will make hearing aids more accessible to the general public. Officials say they will be able to use shoppers who are at least 18 years old with perceived audio issues. The aids cost between $199 and $1,000 per pair. President Joe Biden says the video and testimony shared at last January 6th hearing was, quote, devastating. Biden was asked about the hearing during an unannounced visit to an ice cream shop in Portland, Oregon, Saturday.
I think the testimony and the video are actually devastating. And I've been going out of my way not to comment. We'll see what happens, but I think it's been devastating.
He also added that the January 6th Select Committee overhaul has made an overwhelming case. The final hearing included video footage of congressional leaders scrambling to respond to the attack on the Capitol as they took refuge from violent Trump supporters. The Select Committee's investigation is working towards a final report, though it's still not clear what shape that will take or when it might be released. Our continuous coverage of Hurricane Ian's aftermath continues today. Crews got access to where the storm hit the hardest. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shows you the devastation to Fort Myers Beach and spoke with some of the locals there about the long road to recovery.
Pretty scary that if you look at the size of these boats and the power involved in lifting them and tossing them around like they're toys.
Joe Schoenwolf takes us around an area next to Fort Myers Beach. He was one of a few people who stayed on their boats during the storm.
And this is where I came the next morning, just asking if anybody needed help.
He was in disbelief how much the hurricane damaged and in some cases sunk other nearby boats.
There was somebody that got rescued from this boat right here. They had a family and a dog on board. Coast Guard came and got them to slide down the side of the boat.
And over on Fort Myers Beach, locals and relief workers are trying to clean up what's left behind.
Some locals who spoke with me off camera were having a hard time putting words together, coming back to some businesses that they knew and loved or even worked at, in some cases for decades. I'm going to step aside from the camera's frame really quick. Right behind me, that pile of just debris, that was once a popular restaurant here on Fort Myers Beach, and all that's left are just poles.
Most of the buildings are so badly damaged, officials tell us it's become a safety hazard to be nearby them. We're told the next step in the recovery efforts will be a long cleanup process, making sure no more fuel from the boats are spilling into the water, the debris cleaned up, and the list continues. Schoenwolf says in situations like this, some might take advantage by looting, but he's also seen the good in people following the storm too. Schoenwolf and others have pitched in, bringing food and other supplies to those who need it the most. and says Fort Myers will recover from this tragedy.
Something that you just have to respect. You know, this is Mother Nature. It's going to happen. You know, this year it was Fort Myers Beach, but you know, just build it stronger and then be prepared for the next storm, which will come. You know.
In Fort Myers Beach, Florida, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Next, we take a look at a spooky exhibit pairing Halloween and history in Jamestown.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. I'm Patrick Smeraldo, and I need your help to get there. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Harrison's Playmakers is a nonprofit launched by Harrison Phillips to connect kids with disabilities and sports. Furthermore, donations for this 3-day hike will also benefit CASA of Chautauqua County and the Stone family, who are assisting local foster care children during National Adoption Month. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
The Fenton History Center will be hosting a spooktacular Halloween open house at the end of the month. Our Julia Gress spoke with those setting up the event.
Well, we're trying to make it as colorful as we can and interesting to the children and the families who come, so that in each room they see something that sparks their Halloween interest. Not making it too scary. We don't believe in the too scary type of thing, but so that people will want to come, bring their families.
New this year is a Day of the Dead exhibit. The event will also feature Disney characters like Cinderella and Snow White. The night will conclude with 2 hours of trick-or-treating on each floor for the kids. Board of Trustees President Janet Wahlberg says open houses like this allow the Fenton History Center to connect with the community and to get them interested in coming back.
It gives us that opportunity. No matter when anyone comes, what time of the year, it's always a wonderful opportunity to welcome them, ask them if they've been here before, point out something we think might be extra interesting to them, so that they make sure they look at that.
Getting children involved with fun events like this can help introduce them to history outside of school, according to Executive Director Jane Babinski.
However, they don't bring the classes in anymore because they have a different focus. And history is important, I think, for everybody to learn. We can learn from our mistakes as well as learn about all of the positive things that happened in history.
Visitors are encouraged to wear costumes as well. The event will be held October 29th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., followed by the 2 hours of trick-or-treating. The admission fee for adults will be $10, while those 17 and under can attend for free. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
All right, Julia, thank you. And I really can't believe it's halfway through October already. Halloween is just around the corner. Ugh.
I know. We're already getting the early looks at the Halloween forecast. So
Snow?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, no. We don't like to hear that.
You know how it is. 7 days, anything after 7 days, it's a crapshoot.
We're not doing that 90-day forecast we're always talking about?
Oh, no.
We'd definitely love to do one of those, wouldn't we?
Yeah, when I retire.
We'll have Andrew do it. Well, that's it for us today. Remember that news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. Download it for free today. And we'll leave you with a look over Chautauqua Lake. And wow, look at that. The clouds are forming. Ooh.
We call that overcast, folks.
We don't like that. Could be snow soon.